assumes the color of near. It appears the color of the cup. So the fact that the water doesn't change, this to us is obvious. But we do need to focus in and understand that there is a union between the water and the color. This is the thing that we need to understand. And this is what we spent a whole bunch of time yesterday to point out that a neutral color means all colors. So when you have water in a cup and it appears blue, it is bringing out the blue element in the neutral color. This is what oil bekeli. It remains, the oil remains oil, but it relates to the keli. It's not oil bekeli. It relates to the keli. And we had all kinds of different illustrations, yesterday, leaves of the tree and so forth. The ultimate mashal that we should relate to is, but the nefesh is mislabish in the guf. And as we discussed the other day, this week I think, that the nefesh is mislabish in the guf, there are different levels of the hislapshus. And one primary level is when it's mislabish in each aver individually, pertinent to that aver. The hand gets from the nefesh what's called the koyach hatnuah. The koyach hatnuah in the hand, this is the chayas of the hand.
But that's not the same thing as water in the cup.
It is the same thing as water in the cup. So the koyach hatnuah remains a nefesh koyach. And it functions according to the criterion of the hand. In order for the koyach hatnuah to accomplish anything, he has to go through the hand. He can only do that which the hand can do. This is why the hand has 5 fingers to break down this koyach hatnuah into 10 fingers actually, into all kinds of different forms. But the koyach hatnuah is the same. And it is all after one goes through concerted effort and training, and becomes a pianist, or becomes an artist, whatever it is that you need, that the hand becomes, so to speak, an instantaneous response to a circumstance. It is not the hand. It is a koyach hatnuah in the hand. And the koyach hatnuah thereby does not change anything. It remains the same. The only thing is that the hand has been so refined. This is what's called zichuch hakeli. The hand becomes so refined. Here's an
zichuch hakeli.
Yeah, zichuch hakeli. It becomes so refined that the hand senses what the nefesh wants it to do. Then you don't have to. There's no gap. It responds immediately. But it is still the koyach hatnuah, it's still the koyach hanefesh that directs it. Where does he sense the musical element? In the hand? In the physical hand? It seems almost that way. In a fine musician, this is where it seems that way. He plays piano, right? He can play piano and hit the keys. And over there he can hit 10 keys in one shot, and they all blend in like one sound, and very, very subtle, and it changes from hard to soft to all kinds of different things. This is the hand. This is not the hand. And yet, it is through the hand. But the hand has to be refined to be able to represent and to accept the koyach hanefesh.
Why do we call this refinement as opposed to training?
It gets refined via training. This is what it means. And it is. We get it through training, but the reason I'm saying refinement instead of training is that we should never attribute it to the hands. Training sounds like, okay, the hand is unable to do anything. It is the koyach hanefesh that's in the hand, that it. And the training simply eliminates all the resistance in the hand, all the laziness, all the coarseness, and the hand becomes sensitive to that musical message. This is what it is.
So you're saying that as the colored glass colors the clear water inside, the shape of the hand, the form of the hand colors the energy that's coming into it, or defines the energy that's coming into it.
Yeah, it makes it that you should do this particular action.
Well,
because the koyach Channukah has no understanding of hitting a key on the keyboard. It has the oyer, it has the musical element. And please understand, if I may, the musical element is not the sound. It is the
To remain on this call, press 1.
Okay.
Returning to the conference room.
It's not the sound. It is the message that sends how the nefesh speaks. That's the musical element. On a goof level in Gashmis, it comes out in the form of a sound. There too we have a v'keili.
So the quality of the nefesh is expressed, determines the kind of music.
Yes, I should hope so. This is again another one of those things that today we train people to produce sound, to sing rather than to scream out the the notes rather than to sing, to understand what they're saying. The Baal Shem Tov, the Rebbe, Friedrich Rebbe described it in the way the Baal Shem Tov sang. Rebbe says that Baal Shem Tov had an exceptional voice, and he would also go into what's called a Kopfstimme. You know what a Kopfstimme is? A half voice.
Semi-octave, half voice.
Falsetto.
Falsetto is what it's called.
Half tone.
Huh?
A half tone.
Half tone.
Two notes.
And in the half tone you can go enormously high.
Falsetto.
And he had coloratura. What is that? Coloratura.
Coloratura.
All kinds of different variations.
Wow.
This was not to show his chazonisha capability. Not long ago, we spoke here in class about when the Rebbe taught the Snigen, the Shamil Nigen. And the amazing thing was that the Rebbe sang effortlessly. A most difficult nigun, and he sang it in a manner that was impossible to emulate. The way we sing it now is not the way the Rebbe taught it originally. The Rebbe modified it later because he saw in the Ratzim Yechilim Lamed Bey. We can't follow through on it. This did not come from training the voice. This came from a direct flow, from a feel for the music, for the message.
It's all natural. It's called natural.
Huh?
It's called natural.
Natural?
Natural.
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 All right. So this, okay, let's go to the next moshel writer, also from the Pardes. The second moshel is slightly different than the first, and it is more effective. But you would not see its effect if you didn't go through the first. So oil hashemesh, the sunlight, shenire ki gavan haschuchis, that appears like the gavan haschuchis, like the color of the glass, she'over, through which she'over al yodeh, through which it passes. Harei ha'oir be'etzem, so there the oir be'etzem, the light in itself, hu b'gvanei ha'poshut, remains, the oir is oir. B'gvanei ha'poshut retains in essence its simple and fundamental color.
This would be like a stained glass window.
Like a stained glass window, the light coming through this. Yes, it's exactly that. What is the difference between this moshel and the previous moshel with the oil, with the water in the glass? Here, this moshel brings it home even more emphatically. The water in the glass is the water within the glass. Whereas the oil passes through the glass, and you see the oil outside of the glass, and it looks like that color.
In fact, you could say it is that color.
It is that color. It does. When it shines on something, it shines with that color.
By the water, we were saying it just appears to have
This is also appearing. That's what this is where the difficulty over here is.
Yeah.
But we have to understand, and I'm sure we understand, that the light does not in itself change. This is oil.
I'm not sure if the light after it passes through the color glass.
It shines with that color, but it does not become that color.
What? Shines.
So the way the scientists would explain this is that they would say that these different colors filter out some of the spectrum of the light.
Right.
This is not what happens?
No, I don't have any problem with that.
No?
I don't have any problem with that. But after the filtering out, so they filter out only color. They don't filter out oil.
Mm-hmm.
Oil, by definition, is oil.
So it still retains that neutral quality.
Exactly.
And how does that neutral quality? How do you identify that neutral quality even in the light that's colored?
The oil continues to represent
Shine.
the shemesh. Just like the oil ha-nefesh continues to represent the nefesh.
So whatever color it is, it continues to illuminate.
That's
which
right.
represents the luminary.
That's right.
Even though it's this color or that
That's
color.
right. The principle of light remains the same.
The function can change a little bit.
Right. Functionally, it changes. but it doesn't change in essence. And light is light. Light is not a mitzias, not a keli. Light is representative, what we said all the way in the beginning, of an etzem. Why is there a light? Because there's an etzem. Why do you bring it back down to us, so we have some grasp? Why is the home your home? Because you're there. What are you? You're an etzem. There is no such thing as a dog owning a home. Why not? What's the difference? Your etzem has oil, and it spreads wherever you want it to spread. Like we pointed out, if you were to occupy the Empire State Building as your personal dwelling, you would not spread there. You would not have that effect. You would not consider it your home. You couldn't relate to it.
Why did you say that? Couldn't relate to it because some of these people live in mansions that are almost as big
That's
as the
right.
Empire State Building.
No.
The Palace of Versailles, whatever.
Palace of Versailles is a melech. It's a different thing. And representing a country, representing a personal dwelling.
Doesn't relate to the Empire State Building.
No, they can't. It can't relate to that whole. I mean, at least in my little mind. Maybe there are people with greater minds that they can.
Donald Trump or something like
How
that.
did,
I don't know Donald Trump can live in the Empire State Building as a personal dwelling.
how did we get to Empire State? We said only human can own something. Only human being has essence.
To remain
and
on
thus
this call, press 1.
his name can be on something.
That's right.
And then the
And so
Empire
they're
State
saying
to
that
show
his name is on something is because he is there,
fine. And then this Empire State is to show the limit of.
of his presence. He cannot be there. Therefore, his name cannot be on it. He can own it commercially, but not personally. That's what oil. Oil means the presence of the etzem.
Okay, you say an animal cannot own something. How is human ownership different from, let's say, a pride of lions or even a dog? You know, setting their territory.
Well, we discussed this in class, maybe 10 times. So I don't mind telling you again, but I just want to tell you. Okay. We happen to be at the end of this, so I don't mind, but everything has a limit. The lion protects it with his ferociousness. It doesn't own it. It's like a person standing in front of his home with a gun and say, "You don't enter it because it's mine." We don't have to do that. We actually own it, and it's mine, and you're not allowed to enter it. If you enter it, you're violating a rule, a principle. It's not just that I'm not going to let you. We discussed this at 3 different levels: animal level, human level, and Torah level, godly level.
If it's not clear to me, I'll have to look back.
Yeah. What's that?
Look in the
Shlomo
archives.
is just calling.
Shlomo just called in. All right, Shlomo, we just got off the conference because there's nobody there.
I was on there. I don't know. I was just on
I was there the whole time.
And I just noticed.
I know. She told me that I'm the only one.
I don't think
It's recorded. You'll go back to the thing. Sorry, it's recorded on the blog. You'll see. She
But
came.
there were people on
She came. Really? She came twice.
I think there's a different system where it doesn't say when people come on. Like it doesn't.
No, she doesn't say. She didn't say when people came on, but she told me there's nobody there. If you want to stay on, hit one, twice.
Yeah.
And the second time I gave up.
It's 2 ones.
2 ones. So I'm sorry, whoever, if I interrupted anyone. I really. Next time I'm not going to do that. Okay, so all these mishalim are in order to understand the following. So likewise, ha'oir, the oir eliki, oir hakav, hagam shebiklei hakel hachochmo, hu bivchinas chochmo. That although that in the klei hachochmo, the oir is bivchinas chochmo, is in the state, in the quality of chokhmah. It has a chokhmah tendency. Or b'klei ha'chesed, hu b'vchinas chesed. And the klei ha'chesed, it has a chesed tendency. But still, be'etzem, in essence, hu begavan poshut. It is in essence begavan poshut, in a simple and a primary color, so to speak. What is a gavan poshut? Let me finish the line and then we'll give some. Gam k'may shu b'tei hakli, even as it is inside the keli. Okay, we have to be very brief now, and we'll see, maybe we'll complete it, maybe not. We have to remember the principle. As we said just a moment ago, oir is representative of an etzem. What's an etzem? Etzem has no not being state. Etzem is not something that comes from nothing, that comes from a state of not being. Motzei Rishain, its beginning is a presence, which means a presence. I don't mean a presence in Metzias. It is a fundamental truth. This is etzem. If it's a fundamental truth, again, to distinguish the word truth from the word true, true is defining a subject. Truth does not define an object, does not have an object. It is a concept of truth. In the world, we can't even conceptualize what truth is. Although we do have a means to kind of point to some to that, within the worldly context, to that level. Therefore, seeing that this is a presence that is in there in and of itself, it has no color. What's a color? A color is how a thing presents itself. This has no presentation. It doesn't consist in presentation. And as we discussed in this Hemshech over and over again, that really in Atmos there is not even oir. The whole principle of presentation, the whole principle of identifying that it exists, is something which is which is volitionally created. Therefore, it has no color. What I mean by it has no color, it is. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. The etzem clearly has no color, but the oil is a representative of the etzem. And its inyan is, its presence is is not to illuminate the object, but to carry the message. The reason that there is a truth. Therefore, oil, as I said before, oil exists only in the presence of the Yetzer. No matter how many different gyrations and interferences you have throughout the whole process, tzimtzumim and parses and so on, oil ultimately is there only because there's an Yetzer. That's what oil is. And therefore, in essence, it remains neutral. There's a truth to it. And this is what you started this morning. This is what the human being is. This is what the human being is. This is the world. Gives the world a worth, because he represents, he stands, he relates to that ultimate truth, to oil, not to Cain. And now we are going to interrupt. Okay, so tonight is not our class because it's the parade. We canceled it. We had it yesterday, and we'll reconvene in Mitzvah tomorrow morning. Have a good day. Freilich and Channukah. Oh, wait a second. There's nobody there. This will be here. All right.
Well, you can say that, though.
What? I can say it to you too.
Yeah, right. You're an Etzem too, you know.
I always do. This is.